Chris Barr will tee it up for the Los Angeles Raiders. Henry Odom, number 44, Tim Harris, 43, and Harvey Clayton, 33, are the deep men for the Steelers. Chuck Noll across the way. His team 4 out of 4 in Super Bowl championship attempts. And as the long shot in this game, Merlin Olsen, when's the last time the Steelers were more than a touchdown underdog?
Well, you've almost got to reach back into the history books for that one, Dick.
And before the biggest crowd of the year in Los Angeles, we're underway. Henry Odom, 1 yard deep. 20, and he had a crack down at the 27-yard line. Dokie Williams made the tackle for the Raiders. Cliff Stout, number 18, the quarterback for Pittsburgh. His running backs, Frank Pollard, over 600 yards rushing this year. Incomparable Franco Harris, over 1,000 yards. John Stallworth played only 4 games all year, is a starter today. Great playoff performer. Calvin Sweeney, 39 catches, leading Steeler receiver. Benny Cunningham is the tight end. From the Steeler 26-yard line. Pollard. A gain of maybe 3. Bob Nelson, number 51, led the charge for the defense. The offensive line for the Steelers, and they're healthier than they've been in a long time. Toon Chilkin at left tackle. Craig Wolfley at left guard. Again in the Pro Bowl, Mike Webster at center. Muscular Steve Corson at right guard. Larry Brown, the veteran right tackle. He'll be working against Howie Long, the leading sack man for the Raiders. Second down, call it 8. Franco Harris. Out of bounds at the 31. Nelson there, along with support from the deep secondary. Alcedo as well. It's a short gain, third down, about 5. The defense in the black jerseys. Howie Long on his way to the Pro Bowl, leading sack man. Reggie Kinlaw, the nose man. Lyle Alcedo, the veteran. The linebackers again to the Pro Bowl. Ted Hendricks, Matt Millen, 260 pounds of inside backer, and Bob Nelson in on the first 2 plays. Rod Martin, he was voted the most valuable player by his teammates on this Raider team this year. 4 interceptions, 2 of them for touchdowns. Stout, his first throw. Alcedo has the sack. Greg Townsend was in as well. Alcedo, the veteran from Yankton College in South Dakota.
A quick look at the kind of pressure that the Raiders are hoping to exert on Stout today. They want to bury him in there, and it's Alcedo who gets the first grab, and Willie Townsend laying in behind, and Stout goes down with the first sack of the afternoon. The Steelers have to punt it away.
Craig Colquitt averaged just under 42 yards per punt this year. Greg Pruitt, he leads the NFL in punt returns. He has room, 39, 45, and out to the 47. That's under his average, better than 11 per attempt this year. Set an NFL record most yards punt returns. Jim Plunkett will bring the offense onto the field for the Raiders. The veteran from Stanford has Marcus Allen. He rushed for over 1,000 yards again in his second season. Kenny King from Oklahoma at fullback. Cliff Branch with all that speed outside. Hardly slow as Malcolm Barnwell. The tight end, 92 catches to lead the NFL, Todd Christensen. The offensive line will give you after this play. First down, Raiders at their own 46. Marcus Allen. He's tripped up in the backfield. Number 56, Robin Cole, a Los Angeles native, made the play. The offensive line for the Raiders, a solid veteran big group. Bruce Davis from UCLA. Charlie Hanna of Alabama. The center, Dave Dalby, an ex-UCLA Bruin. Mickey Marvin of Tennessee. Henry Lawrence of Florida A&M. Lawrence on his way to the Pro Bowl. Frank Hawkins, number 27, has replaced King. Hawkins to about the 48-yard line. Donnie Shell came up from his safety spot to support Mike Merriweather, 57. Defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Edmund Nelson for the injured Goodman. Gary Dunn, the nose tackle. He has 6 sacks this year, and Tom Beasley is out, so he's replaced by Keith Gary. Mike Merriweather, the incredible Jack Lambert, again a Pro Bowler. David Little for Lauren Taves, Larry Little's kid brother. Robin Cole, who just made a play on first down. We'll give you the deep 4 in a moment. A 3rd and 8. Plunkett was trying to find Barnwell down at the 35, but Barnwell had slipped. And just as the Steelers failed to make a first down, so do the Raiders now have to punt it away. Just to complete the business, the deep 4 for the Steelers, Dwayne Woodruff, and the veteran Mel Blunt with 57 career receptions at the corners, Donnie Shell, and Rick Woods, the safety men. Raymond Guy to punt. Rick Woods, number 22, back at the Steeler 10-yard line. Ten men rushing for the Steelers. Guy aiming for the corner. Woods at the 10. And Woods out of bounds at the 21-yard line. The play made by Jack Swyrick, a former Illinois star. It'll be Illinois and UCLA tomorrow over at the Rose Bowl. No score, just underway in sunny L.A.
And Milwaukee means beer. Cold, crisp, old Milwaukee beer. And smooth golden Old Milwaukee Light.
And Old Milwaukee.
And Old Milwaukee Light.
Taste as great as their name.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
From the 21, Sweeney in motion. Big hole for Pollard. 30. He's all the way out to the 36-yard line. Frank Pollard, 15 yards before McElroy and Lester Hayes can make the stop.
Frank Pollard has been the most impressive running back from the latter part of the season for these Pittsburgh Steelers. Takes the quick handoff, bursts up inside behind a trap block. Larry Brown trapping to the inside from his tackle position, and a good job from Pollard as he bulls his way for extra yardage. Look at the shot inside now as he'll start to the outside and comes right in behind a good block by 32 Franco Harris.
On first down from the 36. Stout going long. What a catch by Capers! Wayne Capers over Lester Hayes. A sensational play.
Wayne Capers has had his injury problems during the season, but he is the deep threat that the Steelers hope to utilize today in their 3 wide receiver offense.
A huge crowd, and they're still filing in the Coliseum. They're going to be close to 90,000 here. Clever running by Stout all the way to the 1-yard line before Rod Martin can make the play. You heard him call the audible. At the end of the audible, he said something special. Well, he almost offered his own individual version.
Stout has been knocked for not staying in the pocket longer. You see him getting out with the first sign of pressure. He does look for a receiver, but in the meantime, he's lost track of the open receivers. He almost has to run. He makes a good gain there, but that's the kind of problem he's had during this season. The Steelers hope they can turn that particular ramble, though, to the 2-yard line into a touchdown.
Well, they marked it at the 1-yard line, 3rd and goal. Pollard, no signal yet by the 2 linesmen, and they say he was stopped right on the goal line. The Pro Bowl kicker from the American Conference. And he gets the Steelers the sure 3. When you get field goals under 20 yards, those are almost a negative statistic. It means that you were inside the 5-yard line and couldn't get a touchdown. Has to be a great day whether you're in the crowd or high above the Coliseum. Sailing over the Coliseum, our blimp providing us with those sensational aerial pictures. And you can see like a giant jewel box, almost totally jammed with fans, and they're still filing in. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Anderson kicks it off. Deep to Montgomery. He's going to run it out. And he gets it to the 20-yard line. Flea, Montgomery, and the Raiders trailing 3-0 have the ball at their 20. Looking deep. Todd Christensen, 20 yards. Well, you can't give him that kind of time.
You certainly can't. Woody Woodnoffer, defensive coordinator for the Steelers, said we're going to try and get to the quarterback with the 4-man rush. If they can't get to him with a 4-man rush, they're going to have to start blitzing more. And you see how much time Christensen has to work one-on-one on Robin Cole. And you cannot give any quarterback, and especially a quarterback like Jim Plunkett, that kind of time.
First down at the 40. The Branch. First down at the Pittsburgh 48. 12 more for the Raiders. 50, 45 to the 42. Short of a first down, but an excellent scramble by Plunkett. Woodruff denied the first down.
Jim Plunkett is not a highly mobile quarterback. In fact, he's been sacked 55 times, or their quarterbacks have been sacked 55 times during the season. But he has always had the ability to run in big games. We saw him do it in the Super Bowl a couple of years back, and here he is again. He looks quicker now than he did early in the season. Getting a good run, getting away from Jack Lambert, 58, for a moment there. Finally brought to the ground, but he's got short yardage.
Now the punt, and the snapper is Todd Christensen, the league's top pass receiver. Rick Woods watches it go out of bounds, and we'll see where they mark him. Out to the 15-yard line. They're going to mark it just near the 15. And we have a timeout. 5 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first quarter. A short extra point style field goal by Gary Anderson, the difference. Seattle next Sunday against the winner of this game. If Pittsburgh wins, that game will be back in the Steel City. If it's the Raiders, we'll be right back here in the Coliseum. Franco Harris in the backfield with Pollard. Intercepted for a touchdown, Lester Hayes. Lester Hayes. They don't throw often in his zone, but with Mike Haynes, they've got to throw somewhere. And Hayes has his third of the year, 7 in the postseason, and the Raiders take the lead.
The Raiders use a great deal of situation defense. In that situation, they've moved both cornerbacks over to the left side of the field, and Stout throwing right into the coverage, trying to reach Calvin Sweeney, and the two cornerbacks had him doubled up on that side. Lester just waltzes in for an easy touchdown.
Chris Barr adds the extra point. 18-yard play, Lester Hayes, and the defense gives the Raiders a 7-3 lead. 3rd and 1. Ooh, play action to Marcus Allen, and he's all the way to the Steeler 39-yard line. Little and Woodruff chased Allen down. That's why he's so valuable.
Cole had gone down into a 3-point stance on the line of scrimmage to try and get in, try and foul up the offense a little bit. He'll be coming from the right-hand side, but Plunkett fouled everybody up. Faked a little run into the line and then drops the ball out to Marcus Allen. He's working on number 49, Dwayne Woodruff. Finally gets a shot over the top by the linebacker trailing, but a great big gain for the offense.
17 yards, back on first down to Branch. 20, and finally stopped at the 15-yard line. touchdown, but what a move by the veteran Branch at 35. Those feet are just as nimble as when he broke into this league 12 years ago.
Still extremely dangerous. Just really an excellent play. Watch how quickly he gets out of the trap here. Looks like he's going to be stopped right here. Just puts a little move on Mel Blount, number 47, out of the diving grasp of a second Steeler, and they finally ground him up on the backside. Gary coming down to wrestle him to the ground, but he is way downfield. They don't like each other, do they, Dick?
That's a mismatch, that's for certain. First down inside the 15, and right back to Branch. And this time, Mel Blount, also 35. That's an interesting matchup. A couple of graybeards, Branch and Blount, both at 35, but a good gain, 8 yards.
They've faced each other many times, and here's what Branch, Blount had to talk about each other. This is what Branch said about Blount.
He's physical and intimidator. He'd fit right in with our defense. Well, that's, I guess, high praise coming from a Raider. First and goal from the 4. It's Allen. Triple jumper that didn't need the last 2 steps. He just balled it in.
Marcus Allen is a great athlete. And one of the ways to beat a good defensive line when they go underneath is to go over the top. He gets up right here. Great block by 27 Frank Hawkins. But he must have leaped a good 4 or 5 yards with that first stride and then just bounded into the end zone.
80 yards in 9 plays. Barr's extra point try. Hum holds. And the Raiders now lead 14-3. Now Plunkett and the Raider offense certainly mixing it up on that long drive. Trailing 14-3. Stout. Oh, crushed as Abercrombie by Reggie Kinlaw. Kinlaw from Oklahoma. Almost threw untouched, and he beat a good man in Webster.
You got a chance to look at that matchup inside a few moments ago, and Kinlaw took the worst of it. But watch it here as he brushes Webster aside and then makes excellent penetration to go in behind and make the tackle from behind.
Didn't look like that was Webster's man, that he was just brushing off going after someone else, and no one picked up Kinlaw. Marcus Allen with a big hole. Open field, 50 all the way to the 49 with 50 seconds left. And time called by the Raiders with 49. Rick Woods made the tackle after a 21-yard Allen run. Down the middle to the wide open Branch, 30. Merriweather can't get him. And he gets out of bounds.
Boy, he really brings this crowd to life, doesn't he, Dick?
Like trying to catch a butterfly.
18 yards on the play by Cliff Branch. Suffered with a pulled hamstring. Pulled it on the longest play of the year in the NFL against the Redskins early in the year. But he is healthy now. I'll show you some of his quickness on this play.
45-yard attempt. Home to hold. Can't kick him any better than that. Chris Barr gives the Raiders a 2-touchdown lead. Hayes interception for a touchdown, a Marcus run for a touchdown, a couple of field goals, and it's the Los Angeles Raiders. Tom Flores Raiders leading the Steelers 17-3. Second down and 6. Greg Pruitt, the veteran, replaces Allen, and Sam Washington, number 41, is now in at the left corner for Dwayne Woodruff. Kenny King. Nothing that way. But there is some room this way. And he has a touchdown.
Here's the block. I think you'll have a chance to see it as they head back here. Right there, number 64, Edmund Nelson, blocked by the quarterback.
King with 1 touchdown all year rushing gets a big one today in the playoffs. Zato has been the dominant force. They've done a pretty good job. Larry Brown and Howie Long, the leading sack man. But Alzato's had a a field day against Ilkin, and there's Alzado again. The 4th sack in the game for the Raiders, 3 credited to Alzado.
Lyle terribly pleased with that sack. You won't see it on his face, but he is thumping inside. Watch him come from that right defensive end position, working on Tunch Ilkin, and just throws Ilkin aside. That's the weightlifting power of Lyle Alzado. He's working against a strong man too, but just using that tremendous hand and arm strength and quickness to get around the offensive tackle.
So the Raiders get the ball back. Quick, partially blocked. The Steelers pick up the ball. Lester Hayes blocked the ball. Steelers pick it up, and it's the Raiders' ball short of the first down at the 42-yard line.
Performance by the Raiders today, and he had some interesting words for the first-year phenoms.
Kurt Warner, are you listening? 2nd and inches.
Dickerson as well.
Marcus Allen in the clear. 30, 20. Allen for a touchdown. Marcus Allen celebrates. He goes over the 100-yard mark, a 49-yard touchdown.
Al, in that little quote we showed you, he talked about the fact that it has been tougher in his 2nd year. It looks easy here as he runs away from the Pittsburgh defense. Donnie Shell, number 31, the last man to have a chance. And of course, we saw him limping to the sideline a while back. He's not injured on that play, Dick.
Barr kicks the extra point. Marcus Allen's longest run of the entire year was 19 yards. Well, he just bettered that by some 30 yards, the longest Raider run of the year, and it goes for a touchdown. Marvelous Marcus Allen. And the Raiders lead 31-3 with a 49-yard touchdown run. And it's 31 to Steelers need a lot of points. They won't get it that way. Oh, yes, they will. Stallworth for a touchdown. It appeared both Raiders had a chance at an interception, and I think they picked off one another. McElroy and Haynes knocked into each other in their eagerness to steal the ball, and the veteran Stallworth steals a touchdown. Played only 4 games because of injury. Gary Anderson, the Pro Bowl kicker and the most valuable player for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, and quite an honor for this young South African, kicks the extra point. Here's that touchdown again by Stout.
Stout taking a quick roll to try and get away from the rush. Alzado out there, Martin out there waiting, throws it with everything he has. That's a tough catch. Stallworth had to turn all the way around and wait for that football, but he got it, and he knew what to do with it.
Well, let's see if that changes the complexion of the game. 5:27 left, 3rd quarter. Congratulations, Jim Plunkett, and what he has meant as an impression in this game. He's overcome so much, and you just have to like the man.
Well, Dick, we had the opportunity to see him come in and replace Dan Pastorini on a critical down early, and we watched him go all the way to a Super Bowl in 1981. He's got him going again here.
Easily, Frank Hawkins, touchdown. The Raiders much the best.
And their fans love it.
So Hawkins subbing for King, and he rumbles into the end zone. He had 6 touchdowns this year. Remember, he had a big game against the Dallas Cowboys and a big win at Texas Stadium.
A power runner. Even though he doesn't have the size of a fullback, he's not afraid to stick his body up in there. He just ran through the arms of Keith Gary, number 92, a couple of the other Steeler defenders. A little blocking going on the other side. Christensen working on David Little. That's a fine play.
Hawkins from Nevada, Reno. Barr hits the extra point, and the Raiders continue to dominate. That's the most points 38 ever scored against the Pittsburgh Steelers in postseason play. The ball winds up in the midst of the men in the black and silver. Johnny Robinson falls on the loose ball with 19 seconds left. Happy New Year, all the men and women. These are the folks that would like to send their best holiday wishes to you at home. Jim Plunkett and the Raiders will get a third chance at Seattle next Sunday. That'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock here in the West, 12:30 for NFL 83. The second game of the doubleheader. One of the stars out of uniform, James Conner, longtime Raider fan. Merv Corning, the outstanding artist, also down there on the sidelines, perhaps with one of his great watercolors that will be featured from this game. The Happy New Year belongs to the Raiders and their fans. Score, Los Angeles Raiders 38, the Pittsburgh Steelers 10. The Raiders go to the championship against the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, I think what they really tried to do was contain us on the outside, and they were kind of overreacting, and so they gave me some cutback lanes, and the guys up front did an excellent job, and I just tried to do the rest.
One of the statements you made before this game, that your second year was a little bit tougher than your first year. How so?
Well, it seems like everywhere I go there were people there, but I expected that, and I try to bear it down and just try to do the best I can. And statistically, I didn't have the year I wanted to, but we're on top, and that's what counts.